So when we take the boom off, the weight of the boom is 312 grams. Slightly updated mounting system for the boom of the Maya and Makani wings. We've further defined, this is called the foot. We've further refined the foot. So it's much lighter, much stiffer, more ergonomic. So when you hold the wing, you've got a lot of nice options. And most importantly, sort of form versus function, what we found is that the best way to transfer the energy from the boom into the wing is through a dual mounted system. We call this the twist lock system. So every wing is mounted with 4 bolts on. That way, it basically, the torsion of the wing of the 2 tips moving sideways, you've got much better control, much more refined control, much better way to transfer the power of the wing down through your body into the board and the foil. The boom is made out of high modulus carbon, and what we've done is we've added a stainless steel clip to it, so you get to break the boom in half when you're transporting it, and then you assemble the boom in a single piece. With the boom, obviously, you have a lot more flexibility when it comes to harness lines and everything else, and you end up with a 300-gram boom that's in 2 pieces, that is super light and super comfortable, yet extremely stiff. Pardon the unbranded bags. To us, it was important to get the wings as fast as we can, but let's kind of go through the details, and they'll look obviously prettier when you get them. This is the bag. The bag's got a number of different options. So as you can see it, this is in its compact size. The booms are outside, so this wing is now folded inside the bag. The bag's got the ability to then extend, so you can then fit the whole wing, including the boom, in a very nice and tight package. The bag's got a little pocket, and in the pocket you get a full kit with materials, rip tape, all the different cloths that you may need to repair your wing. And last but not least, you get a few screws, including spares, to mount the boom once you get the wing itself. You get a nifty little strap that allows you to both carry the bag and should you choose to use it with, fold the boom every time, you get the small factor. Should you choose to keep the boom on, you get the long factor, and that allows you to kind of fold the bag in whatever size you want to have. Additionally, all of us want to get to the water, on the water and off the water as fast as we can. So the bag has a special mesh along the whole way, so there's no condensation. The wing can breathe and evaporate the water. Also, there's absolutely no metal components anywhere. There's nothing more aggravating than zippers and clips and stuff like that corroding from salt water. So everything on this bag is made to prevent that from happening. All right, so the moment we've been waiting for a long time. I've had to wait for 24 hours to open these wings because the weather outside was horrible, but today we're luckier. So here it goes. You get to unbuckle it. This is if you extend the bag, so it gets as long as the necessary with the boom. And here is the very first Maya 5.5. All right, so the wing is packed with paper, just the way it shipped. What we'll do is we'll unpack it further, but before we even do that, we're going to use a little scale. So including the wrapping paper, the wing is basically just under 3 kilograms. All right, here's Makani out. Wing leash, belts, wrapping paper, everything in it. Before we do anything else, let's just weigh the wing. So this is a 5.5 Makani double surface composite wing, wrapping materials, handles, everything is inside, and this wing is 2.46 kilograms. Last thing before we start, go out and pump these and put them together. The Makani Evo wings come with a complete full set of carbon fiber battens. You've got the long battens for the outer skin, and then the shorter, smaller battens, we'll go through that in detail in a minute, for the inner skin. So that kind of completes the package. The bags, the booms, the wings, the battens. All right, here's Makani. all unwrapped, still with papers on it, just out of the package. So a few things to note before we even get started. The paper is extra weight that we're going to take out, but it was an original measurement. A few kind of quick things. Something, I was joking before about the baby puke yellow. No baby puke yellow in any of the F4 wings. Instead, we use the composite material from Challenger. It's extremely stiff, super lightweight, super high quality. It is Dyneema based and significantly more rub resilient, scratch resilient, scrape resilient, and even greater stiffness and lighter weight than the baby puke yellow material that everybody's using. You can see we've got a dual valve system. It is by far the safest thing we've tested out there. Super simple valves. You've got a nice Velcro cover. You've got the valve itself, and it's an industry standard, what's called SUP valve, an SUP valve. Works with all the pumps. All pumps come by default with these nipples to inflate it, and we've got two of these, one on each bladder of the wing. The reason we don't like the connectivity between the two bladders is one, these things fail all the time. That's one of the most industry standard warranty things. Two, it becomes a single point of failure. So you can talk to me all you want about clipping this and stopping the air. That in real life just never happens. With this particular system, you've got one bladder for the leading edge. You've got one bladder from the strut, and if anything were to happen on the water, you still have flotation. You still have also a different way to control the pressure in the strut versus the leading edge. It's something we found very important in different wind conditions, that you can do adjustment that's different on the strut versus the leading edge. You've got the super famous elastic leash from F4, comes with the wing, and you've got a very comfortable yet stiff handle for slacking the wing. Surprisingly enough, even the Makani slacks well. We ride it in waves all the time with the Orca, but this handle is very stiff. It's got a nice padding behind it, so your knuckles, especially when your hands are wet, this is a very nice added protection. Here is a little neoprene detail that does add a lot of comfort and some safety for your knuckles after you ride them. You've got zippers for the both valves, so when the wing is inflated, you can get to them through the zippers. In white, you can see all the battens. We'll install the battens here in a minute, and then obviously the windows. The windows are through both layers of the wing, and so those wings are fully race compliant, registered with all the divisions, and include the windows for safety reasons. The boom, let's start assembling the wing. We'll start with the boom. This is the boom we measured earlier. Again, it comes with a nice EVA pad, and it's got the twist lock system. So the boom is now assembled with a stainless steel clip here that we've used from our windsurfing days. This is the foot, highly reinforced in the composite material, and again the twist lock system. So your wing is basically going to twist in gusts, tip to tip, okay, and the wing starts to kind of flap on you back and forth a little bit. And so what we did through a lot of testing is we developed the double twist prevention system. What it is you've got a lot more leverage from the boom when you have a tip to tip mounting of the boom. It's, to us, the most important thing is performance, and a smooth performance, especially in racing, and very, very finite control. And that system here allows you to have that much more leverage over the twist of the wing. So in gusts and when you're pumping, you transfer the grip you have on the boom into the wing through the strut in the best possible axis to prevent twist and everything else. With the GP foils, you get these spiffy little bags, and in the bags you get the screwdrivers you're going to need to put the wing together. In the we use the Vera stainless steel screwdrivers. In the little kit that comes with a repair kit, you also have a little Ziploc bags with the screws you're going to need to mount the boom onto the wing. Have this cradle inside the boom mounting, which is then reinforced into the strut, and that cradle here provides that additional extra stability when you mount the boom inside it. So the boom handle actually sinks into the cradle, creating further contact and further stability of that preventative motion of the wing up and down. So this is one of the other things that we spend a lot of time engineering, but that combination of the pad, the cradle, and then the handle with the dual mount system, that's what we call the twist lock system, and something we found works extremely well. These are Torx stainless steel screws that come with your kit. You've got some spares as well. Personally, I mount them. That's why we made the bag to be expendable. I like to mount my foils, my wings together with my booms. I adjust my harness lines and I never touch them again. This is how simple. Don't over tighten these screws. You don't need to use brute force. You can see they're very flush. The handle is now fully in the cradle, very sturdy. There is absolutely no way for you to move any of that. And more importantly, it's very ergonomic, so there's no risk of injuries when you're slacking the wing or when you're tacking. This is very, very comfortable place to hold it. Very sturdy and very elegant. There's no sharp edges. There's nothing for you to worry about or anything to twist when you're needed stiff. We do recommend that you do this when we first assemble the wing with deflated wing. All the tolerances are very, very tight. So once you put the back or the front, doesn't really matter what you do first. The second one will basically be pulling on the wing when you set it in when you settle the wing handle in the cradle. So that's kind of a two-hand operation. As you can see, the strut would get very tight, exactly to very tight tolerances before you screw the rear. But that does get assembled first, and it's when the wing is deflated. Boom, fully assembled. As you can see, the strut's tight. You don't need to muscle these things, they just need to be snug, and you will see that the handle recesses in the cradle of the foot. So very elegant, very simple, very light, and very stiff. So this reminds me of my good old windsurfing days. It's actually a little nostalgic almost. 8 buttons, so we've got 2 short ones, 2 medium ones for the double skin on the inside, or green layer, and then we've got 2 slightly longer ones and 2 very long ones respectively for the white part, which is the outer skin of the canopy. This is all the trash that comes from a wing, so we try to be as environmentally conscious as we can. This is all you're going to throw away aside from the packing box, so we think we did pretty well here. There's no particular order in which the battens need to be inserted. You grab the batten for the specific space. You'll see one side is slightly skinnier than the other. That's self-explanatory. You've got a small Velcro opening here right at the leading edge, and you just need to slide the batten inside the wing all the way nice and tight, and they're specifically sized, so it's the very end here with the reinforcement, and it goes all the way to the front where you also have a little reinforcement on the pocket. You tuck it in and you Velcro it, and that's it. The batten is in, and you will then proceed to do the same thing for all 8 battens in the wing. The longer battens do have a slight color change. I'm not sure if you can see it here with the camera, but as they get thinner, they actually change color. So the lighter color of the batten goes furthest to the back. The black side of the batten, of these beautiful all carbon battens, goes towards where the Velcro is to attach the pocket and close the pocket. All right, one thing to note, when you're assembling the very long battens, the 2 longest battens of the wing, I would recommend you flip the wing boom down, and then just make sure as you push the batten in, you do it gingerly. Don't force your way through it. Beauty is not created by force. Just slide it in and make sure that it comes in nicely in the reinforced pocket here on the leading edge before you close it and you apply tension. So just use caution, use a little bit of finesse, and do it with the boom facing down and the skin of the wing facing up as you insert that batten. For the double skin, there is a little grommet here that goes through the inner panel of the double skin underneath the strut on both sides that allows riders to put tension. So if you like your outer skin a little bit looser, you can run the grommet a little bit looser. It's an elastic that goes in here. If you want the skin a little bit tighter in stronger conditions and more gusty conditions, you just tighten the grommet. So this is just a little detail here that I wanted to point out. And then now to the moment that we've all been waiting for. You've got the little zipper here. We do recommend you go through the zipper. You can go through here as well directly, but as you inflate the wing, it gets tight and uncomfortable. So I personally like to go through the zipper, work into the valve. These wings, we like to run them at 10 psi. There it is inflated. What you can see is that these are fairly small diameter because of the composite material. This is a 5.5 racing wing, and also in the profile you can see the kink in the strut. The kink is important. It gives you distance from the wing, especially when you ride double skin wings. It does initially feel a little claustrophobic. The second layer comes a foot in some cases less, closer towards the body, so you feel like you have a wall right in front of you. But this is the strut, very thin composite material, boom on, 10 psi pressure. You zip this so that your wing performs well and it doesn't take a necessarily amount of water. There's plenty of drainage here on the side of the wings, so you don't need to worry about the wings flooding or anything like that. Make sure that the yellow nipple inside the valve is on the out closed position before you inflate it, and away we go. Here it is in its full glory for a very first time. The fully composite Makani 255. It holds an incredible shape. We spent countless days, hours on computers in the factory and on the water testing and developing these. It was not going to be a just simple go-to-market thing. We spent, it had to be an F4 and it had to be the absolute best. The super small diameters on all the tubes, fully composite, no baby puke yellow. The windows are also oriented together with the boom right at the vision point for the rider. Key pieces here in the places where wings get abrasive contact with asphalt, grass, sand, wherever you rig at. Those are enforced with Kevlar strips everywhere. You can see just how tight the skin is on this wing. So that reflects in the performance, but the frame is one of the obviously the stiffest and most important parts. The Dyneema frame is just absolutely incredible. The stiffness of this is just monumental. Every ounce of pressure you apply through the boom goes directly in your foil, so resulting in phenomenal performance. It's hard to get an angle of this wing that doesn't look just absolutely insanely sexy. If you can use that word for wings, that wing is gonna be the one you use it for. The profiles are crazy. The tension is absolutely perfect along the entire material, and the stiffness is just phenomenal. I can't stress enough just how amazing the stiffness is. You can see just how optimized this thing is. It literally looks like an airplane wing. It's just phenomenal to look at and even more phenomenal to use it. If you look at the wing, it's just so light, so stiff, and so responsive. Nothing moves when you pump. That frame doesn't budge. It is rock solid, and canopy, both outer skin and inner skin, just hold absolutely perfect tension.